questions for you. The first thing, and I've always been curious, is I always see on the Twitter pages you put that you have to build up the Baker Street set every time you film.
Yes.
And I was wondering, we always see Mrs. Hudson doing the dishes, the TV running, and in scene 3, Sherlock doing fire, burning the eye. I was always wondering about the plumbing of these sets. Do you have the gas and everything? Is that put together?
Yes, but not in the way you think. It's run, the plumbing wheel we put in, but it literally is just on the other side. It's from a head tank just outside the set. The gas, anything to do with burning or anything like that, is dealt by a special effects company because it's especially that close quarters to the lead actors. It has to be in a very controlled way. So even though that torch is in his hand burning, the off switch is right next to a special effects operator that can kill it instantly if anything were to go wrong. And that's the same with the fire in the fireplace. That's literally just off a bottle, just off the back of the set, and they're constantly watching.
Another question?
I really want to know what happened with Sherlock's bathroom, because you showed it in the pre-production work pictures, and then we didn't see it in the series.
No, I'm waiting for that. It was because I put it in for series 2 because we did Sherlock's bedroom, and there's a direct door from the bedroom into the bathroom. So I had dressed it in. So just in case, even though you never saw it because the camera was on the wrong side of the room, but had the camera been the other side, you would have seen through into the bathroom and seen that's what it was. So when it came back out of the containers for series 3, there it was next with the label on it saying where it was for. You know, you never know. You can never be guaranteed that you're going to be there doing the next series. So when you do it, you label everything up. So if it is a different outcome, you know exactly what spot for where, you know, photographs and everything. So I was just walking past it and I saw that's funny, so I took a picture. Now obviously when it came out and in the end there was a scene where he was in the bath, it kind of caused a furore, but I had no intention for it.
I was curious, what was the progress for you of becoming a production designer? Did you study it?
No, I didn't. Is that obvious? I did it a bit differently. Really. From a very young age, I really loved films, and so I really wanted to be involved in some way or other. So I started off as a runner, making TV copies for people, and at the time I thought I wanted to direct, but as time went on, and I got to know all the different departments, I realised that art department was far more my need. So got into the art department and then just worked my way up. But because I didn't have any qualifications, I found it very difficult as an art director to get work off designers who had all done degrees and stuff. So it kind of forced me into doing design a bit earlier. So I went to do a lot of commercials and some smaller jobs as a designer. And then from that, I went back to art director just literally a couple of months before I got the job in Doctor Who as an art director.
In the Great Game, there's this house opposite Baker Street that gets blown up. And I wondered how you did it, how you make it look like it's blown up.
CGI. The house itself, when you look across, when it was all CGI, but the rest of the street, if you notice, you only look that way once, maybe twice. The rest of the street, we just boarded up and put loads of rubble down and created havoc. There is actually, we cordoned off the street and put parking suspension for 2 days beforehand, and someone still left their car there. So that there is someone's car in that scene that had no reason to be there. It's covered in rubble and bricks and everything. Just went, right, you left it, you're right. So we made it part of the look. But then, so there was an amount. I think we covered 6 houses either side up to the 3rd floor with either pretend broken glass or boarding. And stuff for when we were there. So it was a combination, really. We did like that. And then, but for the actual look, as if there's a hole there, that was CGI.
Hello. Just noticed the episode The Empty Years. I noticed a few things. For example, you have these numbers 221. The camera, the shot is about the door 221, and then the number of the landmark restaurant you have 222, and then when the Sherlock Holmes and Lou Breedy's character went to the client, there was this picture where the client was in front or behind the wagon, and it says 223. And so I was thinking, is there a significance to it? And then at the end of when Sherlock Holmes and John Watson were inside the train, the bomb, the time was registered 1 minute, then 28, and then 29. And I was thinking, is it significant because that's the date when the two main characters met for the first time, January 29. So I'm not sure if it's significant because
once again, I'll go back to what I said before about the pictures. But if I had time, I would love to be able to put that much detail in. But unfortunately, no, that was pure coincidence.
The elephant on the throw pillows, the elephant on the walking cane. When Lord.
That kind of thing is more true. If I like something, then it might crop up. If there's an image I like, or there's an image me I like, it might crop up a couple of times. There are things I can put in, like in the restaurants when he does come back. Because where we used is a restaurant called Daffodil, which was an old cinema. So on the wall, when we rented it, was loads of black and white photographs of old film stars. So obviously we can't show, you don't have the rights to all those pictures, so we've taken them. So to replace those, I got one of the work experience girls who was working with me to do a series of 6 sketches depicting a phoenix rising from the flames, which was Sherlock coming back. So that's in there in the background. So when he walks in and is doing his change, that's what's on the wall in the back. Not everyone sees it, but it's there. And then when they go to the kebab house, it's the Adonis kebab house, which is the God of Rebirth, for example. So that whole sequence has a little bit of imagery in the background. So when I do have time, I like to do it. So you keep your toes. So sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not.
Okay, 2 more, maybe? Sorry, Sam.
How high are the production costs of each series or episode? Approximately.
I can't tell you the exact amounts because I'm not sure my producer would never employ me again if I did. But nowhere near as much as you think. That's part of what we all, whenever I get an interview for a different job, everyone's first thing is, I'm sure, are you going to be able to cope with not having that much money? And I go, yeah, because I never have that much money. It just looks that way, and it's a compliment in its way, because if people think that you've had a lot of money, then you're doing something right. But no, it's not as much as you think.
Okay, and last one.
How do you decide to film on location or build the whole stuff? How do you make this decision, or make the director the decision?
It comes during the rest time or from the script. When the script writes, I'll go back a little bit on the whole process just to give you background. When the script writes to your desk, it's 2 things. It's both a story, but also it's like a collection of problems that you have to solve. One of those problems is the locations that are the requirements of the locations within that script. So you get a location manager to come with you, break it down, and go, right, these are what we need. Now, some of them will jump straight off the page and go, oh, that should be a set. So you kind of allocate. With Sherlock, it's very rarely that we have many sets because it's not that big a budget. You don't build that much. But then within that, because of the restrictions of time, or sometimes not being able to find something that works properly, you then have to either build within a location or build a set completely within a studio. And like I was saying in the last episode, we built quite a lot, like significantly, something 3 to 4 times more than we've ever done before, just in order to be able to complete within the time universe, because it was like a scene here, or like, you know, because of all that stuff happening in Sherlock's Mind Palace after he was shot. It was so quick. You were going from Magnusson's suite into Moriarty's office, into Anderson, that's his office, back to different things, the operating table, the morgue, all of those were sets, every single one of them. So in order to, because they could go out 2 film crews, there were 2 crews filming at the same time. There's been a lot of that in the last couple of days, with actors running back and forth to Claire's truck and stuff to get a change from one look to another, and then going back and shooting here and then. So it was quite manic, but normally, I mean, we build 1, maybe 2 sets for the whole episode.
Thank you very much, Arwel Wyn Jones.